Welcome back to the monthly recap, a mini-series we do here within the Yankees franchise series, where we go over all the good things that happened in the month that just passed. And this time, the month of August has come to an end. We are heading into September, so it is the August 2016 recap of Season 2 of Yankees franchise. And the Yankees are entering September with a 73-60 record, which is good enough to put them in first place of the AL East. Boston, however, is 1.5 games back in the AL East, and the wild card is very interesting. Minnesota, Boston, and Kansas City are all tied for the number 1 spot, so if that holds out, they're going to have to play a one-game playoff to decide who's the number 2 team in the wild card. And also, the Orioles are only 4.5 games back in the wild card, and they're only 6 games back in the AL East, so very doable. Anybody's game at this point. If the Yankees have a bad month of September, they could very well miss out on the playoffs. That is not the situation they want to see themselves in, but it's very possible if they do not play well in September. Especially since 7 of the series to end off the season are going to be against AL East teams for the Yankees. As far as the bats go for the Yankees, well, they're the reason why the Yankees are in the same position they were last year, where they had a very slim chance of making the playoffs, and they were pretty much out of it already at this point last year. The bats have really come around this year. Jacoby Ellsbury's hitting .289 with 7 home runs, 47 RBI, and he's leading all of Major League Baseball with 51 stolen bases. Brett Gardner in the 2-hole all season long is hitting .273 with 11 home runs, 58 RBI, and 40 stolen bases. He still has not been caught all year long, 0 caught stealing. Ronny Tellez is the spark plug towards the bottom of the lineup. He's hitting .278 with no home runs still, 26 RBI, and 21 stolen base. He's been quite a solid pickup for this team. They expect him to just be a depth guy, maybe a minor league guy, just to hopefully maybe play a role at some point, but he has really solidified himself as the everyday starting second baseman, especially with Pirela and Refsnyder both struggling. And because Tellez has played so well all season long, that's why they felt comfortable giving up Refsnyder with the Headley deal to get Todd Frazier in return, and Todd Frazier has been quite solid for the Yankees. He's boosted his batting average up quite a bit. He's been on fire the majority of the time he's been with the Yankees, hitting .238. He came to the Yankees hitting about low 200s, like .202. Now he's hitting .238, 28 home runs, which is 3rd in the American League, and 78 RBI in that 3-hole for the Yankees. He's really been a good pickup, and he's helped this team out a lot, score a lot more runs. Brian McCann also in the cleanup spot has been providing some nice quality bats. 267 average, 20 home runs, and 50 RBI on the season. Aaron Judge also, all 6'7" of them, that mammoth stature, has also been quite solid. 263 dropped down from his usual like 280 of the season. He's been struggling a bit, but he's still solid at 263, 14 home runs, and 49 RBI. Tom Ullman, who has only played a couple months of the season as the everyday DH, he's hitting .262. He's really come around. He's hit 17 home runs and 50 RBIs with 16 stolen bases. Tom Ullman is looking to be a very solid player in the future. He is only 19 years old. As far as the pitching goes, it's still the pitching that has solidified itself as the Yankees being a contender. The hitting and the pitching combined, they have the best of both worlds, obviously. Nathan Eovaldi has the most games started with 28. He's 10-9 with a 3.51, which is very respectable. Tyler Olson, left-hander, the only lefty in the Yankees rotation. He's 7-6 with a 2.69, very respectable. 27 games started. Luis Severino, the young gun in the rotation, he's 7-7 with a 3.47, once again respectable, especially for his first Major League season, in 25 games started. Masahiro Tanaka has been what you would want from your ace. Despite the injury, he's come back just as strong as he went down. 11-2 with a 2.26 ERA and 19 games started. He's really solidified himself at the top of the rotation as the number 1 guy. Adam Warren, however, he came out of the bullpen, had a great season last year. Rip brought him back for another year, and he had a great season in the bullpen. They brought him back in the rotation when Wojciechowski went down, and he's now 10-2 with a 2.18 ERA in 12 games started. And the bullpen is still being led by Betances and Miller. Dellin Betances, 41 saves, 2.91 ERA, 57 strikeouts in 43 innings. Andrew Miller, he's a 2-1 record with a 2.32 ERA and 75 strikeouts in 54 innings, which is absurd absurd ratio. And you may recall that last month, at the start of it, the Yankees signed starting pitcher Shaun Marcum with the plan to be having the rotation while Tanaka's injured, and then when he comes back, moving to the bullpen. Well, Shaun Marcum had 1 game started, and in 4 games pitched, he has an 11.74 ERA. So the Yankees are DFAing Shaun Marcum. He's only on a 1-year deal, so he'll be gone after the season, but he is not a part of this team anymore, and they called up Zach Newting from AAA to be that long reliever, as well as there will also be the September call-ups. So right now, the starting rotation 1 through 5 isn't exactly what you would expect to see from these guys, how they're performing, their overalls and everything, but it's because some people got injured and they had to be just placed into the spots. So 1 through 5 technically is Adam Warren, Nathan Eovaldi, Tyler Olson, Luis Severino, and Masahiro Tanaka, while the bullpen is Zach Newting in the long reliever spot, followed by Justin Wilson, Jacob Lindgren, David Carpenter, Jabba Chamberlain, Andrew Miller in the setup role, and then the closer being Dylan Betances. The bullpen will get pretty deep once the minor guys get called up for September call-ups, although as well. The Yankees' batting order is pretty much the same it's been all season long. Jacoby Ellsbury, center field leading off, left fielder Brett Gardner, third baseman Todd Frazier, catcher Brian McCann in the 4-hole, 5 holes Aaron Judge, first baseman in the 6-hole is Greg Bird against right-handers, Tom Ullman is the 7-hitter, DH against right-handers, Jed Lowry 8th, and Ronnie Torreyes 9th. Then against lefties, it changes a bit. It's still Ellsbury, Gardner, Frazier, McCann, Judge, and this is where it changes. The 6-hitter instead is Tom Ullman, DH. He moves up a spot. First baseman spot moves down into the 7-hole, and it's Kyle Parker as the right-handed bat against the left-handed pitchers. Then once again, Jed Lowry and Ronnie Torreyes. While on the bench is Brian Pena, Didi Gregorius, Jose Perella, and depending on which pitcher they're facing, if they're facing a lefty, then Greg Bird is the bench first baseman, and if they're facing a righty, then Kyle Parker is the bench first baseman. So with that being said, I'll wrap things up here for the August recap, heading into September in Season 2 of the Yankees franchise, the 2016 season. So with that being said, that'll wrap things up. I have been your host, JerseyBorn, and I'm saying goodbye.